Hello guys, welcome to today's backtest. We're gonna do a recap on gold on last week price action. Let's dive into it. So this is gold on weekly time frame. It has been heavily bullish for quite some time, and during the start of the year, you can see during now around February and the end of January, we started having this pullback. So the pullback is currently acting from this weekly zone here. Let me draw that. That's where the pullback is at the moment. So we won't be doing much of analysis on the HTF, that's on the weekly. But yeah, so let me do a bar replay on this. So that's what the weekly. So starting on the daily time frame, let's see. So I'll keep my swing internals and everything on based on how I shared my markup on the Telegram channel. So this has been my current swing on the daily time frame. That's the last daily break of structure. This being the another strong swing high. This was my last internal break of structure there. And after that, and this was my strong internal. So as per the moment I was watching during the start of the week, I was watching the internal structure. So we have had swing break of structure, expecting at least swing pullback to start anytime soon, but yeah, still following the bearish momentum, which led now to the bearish break of structure. So that was the internal break of structure. Price was pulling back. Currently, this was the watch zone. Price was reacting from this demand zone, supply zone there on the daily time frame. And if you check the nature of the price grab liquidity below that low, gave us a change of character, aggressive momentum to the upside, no leg liquidity on this previous leg there, and we also have an extreme zone. So that brought to me another confluence. I was like, okay, following the narrative of the price as per that time, there was this extreme zone still present here, and we don't have like leg inducement on this leg before tapping into this zone, and how price has tapped there. This might be just a zone of reaction, pull back price into this demand zone before we could have now push into this now supply zone to hold for the internal range, pro trend. But that was just a narrative. So I needed to watch price more and more and see what will happen. Okay, let me clear this. So following these, okay, I already have my swing mapped here, this being my strong swing. This is the last break of structure, and now we are having price grabbed some liquidity below this low, then immediately I started mapping my internal structure from there, because you can see these are sizable pullback. We failed to have a candle closure below that low, grabbing some lead, and now a strong momentum to the downside. So I didn't wait for this, because this was now the last internal break of structure. I didn't wait for now that one to shift, so I just continue aggressively to map my internal down there. Sorry. So following that framework, this is now my strong internal low, and I'm expecting at least now that pullback into the strong internal low before we could have now that push to the upside, at least another leg, because I'm watching now price to pull back to the last area of supply. This one, I'm watching this one here as my zone of interest, aligning with that daily narrative. So yeah, there's this low resistant liquidity source, but the moment price is resting at this zone here. Let me mark. It was like the whole of this range, this one here. So price is there reacting from that zone. It's a 4H zone. It's there. It might hold for the pro swing trend. Yeah. So that's there to watch. So into the week, I think I was watching this zone as my first zone. No leg inducement, just as fractal push to the upside reacting from supply. This might be the immediate zone, sorry, to hold for the next bullish run. So that was my first zone of interest. The zone didn't have any inducement in front of it, so I was expecting it might also be used as inducement for this next zone. So this was also a zone of interest, and my last zone of interest in this leg was now this leg, this zone. Sorry. So I was watching these three zones. My narrative was we might have a reaction from this zone, tap into this demand zone and continue to the upside before we could have now that bearish run, or we might have a reaction into that zone, violate that zone, hold from that zone before having that push to the upside, or we might use all of that as liquidity into extreme and push to the upside. Or the other narrative is we might have just a reaction from all of these and the bearish momentum continue to the downside. So that were the possible scenario. So having had that, now I had now my general bias. So coming now on to M15, this looks like the last clear pullback for me. Yeah, that's a sizable pullback, then break past that low. So I'll start mapping my swing structure from there. You can see this was now a clear pullback, then yeah, push to the downside. So I'll start mapping my swing from there. And then next, this was our swing strong. Sorry, this was my swing strong high. Failed to hold, and we had now that break and closure above it. Being very aggressive, we might continue mapping these as swing break of structure, but for me, nothing very sizable there compared to this last break of structure, swing break of structure. So I'll map them as now internal structure. So that was my internal structure, this being my internal structure, and towards the week open, this was my last break of structure there, and all I was watching was now this 4H zone is aligned with that internal structure. Then the internal structure, if we zoom in now into the internal structure, you can see we had this price during before the market closure. We had that price sweeping that low. I did this I did a recap of this, of what I was expecting from that. Yeah, after that sweep, sorry, we had now price that led to now a PBL fail, point before liquidation change, leading to a market structure shift. So this zone had already been tapped, that demand zone on M15. Think it gave an entry there. Can check on that. Did get involved there, but looks like a clear one. Liquidity sweep, change of character, and now we are waiting for pullback into now the zone. If I have this kind of PA on M1 and I don't have a clear zone to map on M1, I usually jump on M5 and look for something significant, at least something that I can work with. So you can see nothing there. Yeah, just a straight push. We need at least some lead. So I would have mapped my lead to be below this low. You can see this reaction from this supply failed to push below that low. So yeah, we have some liquidity lying below that low. So that will be a significant zone for me. So that will be area I'm interested in. You see that area comes with it. Also this second flip zone there. So now coming into the week, that's now the first narrative. If you had the held, let me see, if you had held now, this was M5 zone. Let me highlight that so that I can see it on the M1. So if you have had highlighted that, say an entry model was presented here, we had now sweep of that low. We had now that liquidity sweep, immediately aggressive momentum, giving now at now clear market structure shift there. So if you waited for that to fail, that was now the clear zone. Then we had all of this zone as now. All of that range is now your entry point. Was a clear one, a clear one. M1. So that will be now a very clear zone for possible longs. That will be your tag. Immediately we have the change of character. The same candle pushes down to give you the tag, and that will at least give a buffer of 3 pips below that low. That will be so nice and clear. Targeting now the weak internal high, which was around that zone. I think that zone. Let me check. That's also aligning with the 7-hour target. But on gold, I usually go for even 4-hour, 3-hour, anything. I don't chase the higher hour on gold. This can even manage to take 10-hour. So into the market open. Let's see how the market open now into Monday. So let's see. Okay, market opening with clear momentum, rising for quite some time. Do you get TP? Not TP yet. So yeah, after a while you can see the market give clear TP. So if you had this on Friday during the market closure, that will be a clear TP for you. For me, I didn't. So let me see. Let me play price at least to past Asia and see what's the time here. 6. So I usually come to my desk at 7. Yeah, so around this zone. Actually, it has gone to 8, but no biggie, because nothing, I can see nothing there yet. So you can see into market open, price pushed past those highs, giving us now another internal leg to the upside. So this now also internal break of structure. So meaning these are strong internals now being shifted from there now to this one. Sorry. So yeah. So Monday market open. This is the zone that we are watching. Market is currently here. Can see during Asia market swept those highs. Remember we are within the 4H zone. This one here. So we might see market shifting bearish for quite some time. This is the next zone that I was watching on 4H. You can see, yeah, it's also there. So let's see what it gives us. So I might like to refine this 4H zone and see what we have now for the week. It's very huge. Try refining there. So on 4H you can also see we are having now this on here, we are having a sweep of that high on 4H. So meaning liquidity has been taken above that high, and immediately that gave us now, let me see, almost giving us now a change of character, because that's where 4H chalk line lies. So on M15 I'm not interested in buys as per the moment. Let me push this down here. So this might be that change of character push into this zone before we could have now the bullish momentum kicking in to push higher. Because yeah, these are how this zone was formed. Yeah, it might also hold for more sales to the downside, but we'll now be working with momentum. So as into the session, I'm interested in shorts because you can see how 4H is aligned. So this is the next 4H zone I'm watching. So let's see if price give us anything significant to work with. Okay, you can see immediately the session opens, we have now that break and closure below that low, meaning now the internal structure has now shifted bearish. So interested in sales into this zone. I want to see what the market got for us. So yeah, on Monday on the Telegram channel I didn't have any trade on gold. So yeah, we are having that bullish reaction. At least what I would love to see, which has already happened. We had this bullish reaction back into this area of supply, no clear zone to map out, but yeah, you can see there was some supply because the moment market took all of these buy side liquidity, immediately we started having now the bearish reaction. So at least I'd love to see a break below this low so that I might consider more sales. So let's see if we get something below that low. Okay, yeah, that one. So where is the zone? I'm interested now into this area, the whole of that area, and we have this flip zone here as now my liquidity to be used into the zone, this one here. So I want that zone to be swept as now my liquidity tapping now to the extreme zone and be used as liquidity. So let's see next candle. Okay, reaction. Yeah, that zone has now been swept. Price is still heavily bullish as per the candles being printed there. We are coming off this zone here. That's also another conflicting bias, but you can see uh just it's just at the not well priced inside this 4H zone. So I'm expecting this to be now the inducement reaction, then we can target that low for a clear inducement into the zone, because we didn't have any leg inducement to the left, so we are creating some liquidity for zones like this. I want to see at least M5 giving me signs that we are now having a rejection of some zones, and also I want to see a clear zone on M5 that we might reject. So you can see this one zone, there was a present zone there. Before I jump to M1, I want to see M5 giving me something. So let's see what M5 got. We are having some reaction. Okay, we are sweeping the, okay, and push. That meaning this one has now been violated. Nothing clear to work with here, so yeah, this one has been violating, so watching for another zone. Let's see. Okay, that's now something significant.